monster hunting is another fun thing that you can kind of do within a day's drive.
How does one monster hunt in Ohio?
Well.
Hello and welcome to See You Live. I'm Susan Post, Associate Editor of Columbus Underground, and I have with me Bucky Cutright, who is the founder and co-owner of Columbus Ghost Tours. Bucky, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Susan. Thanks for having me.
So we are standing in Green Lawn Cemetery, which is a local haunt, but we're going to talk a little bit about Ohio haunted road trips that you can take this kind of fall and winter. Traveling's looking a little bit different this year, so a lot of folks are kind of hitting the road and looking for spots that are a little bit closer. So tell us about some fun kind of spooky places to visit if you're looking for something to do outdoors.
Well, there's a whole lot of places you can go visit outdoors. Our parks, the state parks have a lot. A lot of them have ghost stories. Lake Punderson near Cleveland, Beaver Creek near Steubenville. Hocking Hills has a lot of great ghost stories. Sourdough Trail south of Columbus. There's just a lot of them that have really fun ghost stories that you can visit. And also, monster hunting is another fun thing that you can kind of do within a day's drive.
How does one monster hunt in Ohio?
Well, actually, Salt Fork, the state's largest state park, about an hour and a half east of Columbus, is renowned for its Bigfoot sightings.
So, I had no idea.
Yeah, they've since before the park was founded. Actually, I think they've had Bigfoot sightings quite consistently.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
So there's that. Near Cincinnati, Loveland, Ohio, there's frogmen who have been spotted. These little frog creatures.
I had no idea we were home to such diverse mythical creatures.
There are quite a few. And I mean, just over the state line near around Point Pleasant, West Virginia, the Mothman is very close. That's a couple-hour drive, and there's a lot of that sort of thing you can do as well.
When I was looking online, something I kept running into is the Moonville Tunnel. So tell us a little bit about what you know about that.
Okay, well, Moonville was a very small mining town that popped up around the middle of the 19th century. For a very brief period, by the early 1900s, it was all but gone. But in its short life, there were a lot of accidents at the tunnel that resulted in death, and also a murder or two. So this location is said to be quite haunted. I've actually had a kind of creepy experience there myself last year.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I was actually working on an article for Columbus Underground, and it ended up being about cave ghost of Hocking Hills, but originally I was going to include some of the tunnel ghosts as well. And so I happened to be in the area on a full moon in the fall, and I decided I would go get a night shoot of Moonville with perhaps the moon. Yeah, and it's very lonely spot in Ohio. It's out in the middle of nowhere. As I pull in, I notice a vehicle is there, and this is around 11 p.m. at night, for some ghost hunters. So I thought they were going to ruin the shoot. But I go back and don't see them, and I'm taking long exposure night photographs in complete darkness, and I hear footsteps, people walking down the hillside around us. I presumed that this was the ghost hunters with night vision goggles on. As soon as the exposure finished on my photograph, I turn the flashlights on, there's nobody there. Take another one, the same thing happens down the other side of the hill. And,
oh my gosh.
Turn the lights on once the camera is finished exposing, there's no one there. Do another photograph and start getting pebbles thrown at me, little acorns and things. And eventually decided that I'd had enough photographs, and
I'd say so.
Tore out of there. But as got in the car and turned to leave, I noticed my headlights hit this ghost hunter's vehicle that was parked there, who I assumed had been pranking me. And it was up on jacks. It was abandoned. There wasn't anybody at Moonville Tunnel but me and my business partner that evening. And whenever I told this story to a friend, they said, "Oh, you met Baldy Keaton." And Baldy Keaton was a gentleman who was, it does. He was a guy who was murdered at a saloon, outside of a saloon there around 1898, I believe, and thrown on the tracks so it would look like an accident. And his ghost is said to hang out on the top of the tunnel and throw pebbles at people. So unbeknownst
got the full
to me.
experience.
Yeah,
Goodness.
I got to meet him.
Okay, well now that we're thoroughly creeped out, so what are some, kind of fun indoor but COVID safe things that you could kind of check out around the state?
Well, there are a certain number of haunts that are doing very responsible COVID safe activities. The Mansfield Reformatory is one. You can go inside if it happens to be bad weather, and they have a haunt going on. A few other places that you could visit is some of the haunted stagecoach inns that are now hotels. The Buxton Inn in Granville, the Golden Lamb in Lebanon, Ohio, and the Painesville has the Riders Inn. So you can spend the night in these haunted places and
see what happens. I guess. Yeah.
Roll the dice.
What are your some of your favorite kind of haunted spots around Ohio?
Well, I love them all, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, but I have to say, a couple of the places that are really, I think, just fantastic are the Hocking Hills region in southeastern Ohio. Was settled by the Scotch-Irish, and they brought so many traditions of ghosts and witches and that sort of thing with them, and the vibe there is, I think, a lot
spooky.
A lot spookier.
So, do you consider that like the most haunted place in Ohio?
I don't know that I could say it's the most haunted. I think one ghost anywhere is enough.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
So, but that certainly is a fun place to visit. The whole state really is brimming with ghost stories.
So no shortage of things to check out if you're looking for something a little spooky.
Yeah.
Any other, kind of like tips to sort of get the most out of your experience if you're kind of looking at some of these spooky places?
Yes, well, I'd say dig deep whenever you're doing your research. We've had a lot of people on our tours that are taking these little spook vacations where they're visiting haunted locations around the state. And we're usually end up as a kind of meeting point in the middle, being located where we are. But I always tell people, hey, if you're going to the Buxton Inn, then also check out, there's the Clay House in Somerset, Ohio, which is an old stagecoach inn that's now a restaurant. There's a couple graveyards you can find with spooky legends around them to visit as well. So yeah, just always do your Google research and see what you can come up with.
Very good. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being with us here today. If you guys want to see more videos like this, definitely be sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you want to check out some local scares, you can definitely hop on one of the Columbus ghost tours this season. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Susan. Thank you.